You're listening to Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Listen to more Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at Grito, the Grito Podcast Network.
Orale, you have Oscar here from My Grito, and thank you and welcome to another episode of the My Grito podcast. You may have had an opportunity to check out our first 3 episodes that we had with El Compita Super Steve Flores from West Coast Pop Lock Podcast, Mr. Art Meza II from Chicano Soul, or just recently released, Angie Monroy from the McCharmleys. All 3 of these were great interviews. Not because of my fucking questions, but because of our guests and what they shared with us. So if you have not had an opportunity to check them out yet, please go to our Spotify. Please go to our YouTube channel. That way you can also see the visual part of the podcast if you'd like. And check those out. What we wanted to do today is we wanted to give you an overview, as always, of what My Grito Industries is up to. I'll start off with some of the music videos that are currently out there. I mentioned to you guys before that Rundown Creeps, they have their music video Bear that's out there. You want to make sure that you check that out. They've been getting a lot of great feedback about it. And they also recently were featured on LA Weekly. So make sure that you go to their page so you can hear what all the fucking fuss is about. They're doing an excellent job. Also, our founding artist, 3LH, they came out with their video not too long ago called Darlin'. You can also find on YouTube. It's an incredible video. As a matter of fact, my compita, one of my best friends, Tad, he has his 74 pickup truck. You can actually see it on the fucking video. It's probably at about the minute and 20 second. So you want to check that out. Yes, it is a working truck. Yes, I'm glad you asked. He does do drywall. So if you're looking for anybody to do any work for you in the Orange County, LA area, say less. Hit me up and I'll get you in contact with El Compita Tad. He'll take care of you. But let's go back to 3LH. So it's a fucking awesome music video that you want to check out. But also we do have some good news that was just shared to us by 3LH. They announced it not too long ago. On May 3rd, they're going to be opening up for fucking Manic Hispanic. So make sure that you go to their page and check them out. You can buy your tickets there. It's not only Manic Hispanic, but they also have 7 Seconds and Swinging Utters. They're going to be performing along with 3LH and Manic Hispanic. Again, that's on Friday, May 3rd. Also, it's about time. The Paranoias, they came out with their music video, their long-awaited music video, Scanidero, that you can find on YouTube. That is a really trippy music video that will keep you entertained. First of all, when we first released the song months ago, it was a rola that got a lot of compliments because of the style. The whole thing behind that song that threw some people off is that El Compa Ralph, who usually sings along with Profesor Galactico, Nico, they had a different person singing that song and it sounded great. Who was singing it? Well, fucking listen to the song and you'll figure it out. You'll find out for yourself. But the music video is out, so you want to make sure that you do check it out. And we also have some good news with the Paranoias. They're going to be opening up for Voodoo Glow Skulls at the Michelada Rumble on May 4th at Santa Anita Park. Say less. Make sure that you grab your tickets by simply going to our page on My Grito. The link is in our bio. You'll be able to pick up your tickets at a great price. You'll have an opportunity to check out not only Voodoo Glow Skulls, the Paranoias, but there's also a lot of other people that are going to be performing that day. You're going to get lowriders. You're going to get lucha libre. You're going to get micheladas, fantastic micheladas from a lot of different vendors, but also your boys are going to have a booth there where we're going to have a lot of the podcast, people from our podcast network that are going to be there doing some live interviews at the Michelada Rumble. We're also going to be there selling merch. We're going to be spinning records. So come down, say what's up, check us out. We would greatly appreciate it. Speaking of podcasters, as a reminder, the My Grito Podcast Network, we have some great podcasts that are part of the network, which consists of West Coast Pop Lock Podcasts. They come out every Tuesday on Facebook and on YouTube. It is a live recording, so you have an opportunity to get on the chat, send some comments, or simply give them a call because they do take live calls during the show. Also on Tuesdays, Chicano Shuffle. Their episodes come out every Tuesday. Those homeboys always talk about great, interesting things. Commonly, you'll hear it's like you're talking to your homeboys that you grew up with, or los tíos, the way these boomers are talking nowadays, talking about fucking backaches and all these investments and all these different things and politics. Ya se están poniendo un poquito rucones, but check it out because they're still really entertaining. Not only that, we also have El Compa, Steve from Chula Vista, San Diego. Don't hold it against him that he's a San Diego Padres fan. They fucking suck, but that's his team. But his podcast is Emo Brown. So that's an episode that comes out about 2 to 3 times a week. It's always very entertaining. He also interviews a lot of very interesting people that are making moves in the community, in the industry. And not only that, but he just has a really fucking awesome way of how he does his interviews. So if you want to be entertained, you want to check him out. Also, we have Mind Buzz. As a matter of fact, since I do have El Compa Gil with me here today, Gil, why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast, The Mind Buzz?
2. Why don't you talk about it? I want to hear you talk about it.
I do it all the time, bro. The people want to hear what the host thinks about his own show. A ver si es mentiras or not.
What was that?
Oh, I forgot you're a No Sabo kid.
Yeah.
Just in case you're not lying, like totally not lying, go ahead.
So the Mind Buzz, we interview artists, comedians, upcoming producers, directors, everything that is creative in the space, and people that are doing cool things in the community, in the Inland Empire and Los Angeles.
Awesome. Well, not only that, Gil, also this show, My Grito Podcast, couldn't be possible without Mind Buzz Media.
If I don't get fired first.
We've had moments. We won't talk about it on this episode. That'll be for another day.
We can talk about it on the Mind Buzz. Go check out the roast of the Mind Buzz and Gil.
There you go. But if any of our listeners would like to do their own podcast, why don't you tell us a little bit about how they can reach out to you and get some information?
You can DM me on Instagram at the Mind Buzz, or visit mindbuzz.org for details if you're looking to do your own podcast on site. And then pretty soon, I'll make a little announcement here. We are in the works of building out studios in the city of Paramount. So watch that for that.
Pinche Paramount. Wow, we are growing. We are growing. And a lot of it has to do, big thank you to all of you that are listening, that are supporting this local talent that is looking to do some things out there. So we want to thank you for that. And Gil, congratulations on the growth that you've been having.
Thank you.
Not only as Mind Buzz, the podcast, Mind Buzz Media, but also you as a comedian. You've been doing stand-up for how long?
About 6 months.
How do you like it?
That's fun.
A man of little words.
I like it when I don't bomb. That's the best part.
Well,
when I don't bomb.
Our guest today is going to tell you, maybe he'll give you some advice, because in my opinion, I think bombing is just part of it. That's how you're going to learn.
That's what I've heard.
Well, it sounds like you've been learning a lot of that lately.
Yeah.
But so congratulations to you, Gil. I'm very excited for you. Also, I wanted to give a big fucking shout out to our sponsors. Without these sponsors, it would be a little bit more difficult for us to do these type of shows, this type of entertainment to you. So if you are listening to this right now on Spotify, do me a favor, press pause, go to YouTube, because this is also available on YouTube. The episodes are. And you'll be able to check out this Firme shirt that I'm wearing of El Compita Vicente Fernandez. Yes, he's a little bit tad up. Yes, he does look like... who did you say it
Art
looked like?
LeBeau, dog.
Art LeBeau. Mixing on the ones and twos. But this shirt, as well as many other funny, great shirts that you can wear to the barbecue, to the carne asada, to wherever. House of Chingazos. They do have an Instagram account. You can go to their website and you can take a look at all the fantastic deals they have on different types of merch. But not only that, if you want to continue to support the My Grito Industries, what you want to do is when you go to checkout, after you pick out a couple different shirts, sweaters, hoodies, hats, whatever you decide, you want to enter on discount code My Grito, all one word, My Grito, and you'll be able to get a discount, which those savings that you get, a portion of those are going to be coming to us to give us the opportunity to do what we do. So yes, by you getting fitted with some Firme-ass clothes, it's also helping us out when you enter that discount code My Grito. Not only that, but we also have the homeboys that have been helping us out for quite a long time, Firme Mezcal. So if you are a mezcal drinker or you've been thinking about drinking some mezcal, Firme Mezcal would be a great introduction to you because they do have different levels of mezcal available, from blanco, reposado to añejo. And here's one of the best things about it. Not only does it taste real good, but it's also very affordable. So that may give you an opportunity to try out a mezcal bottle. Tell us what you think. Also, if you're looking to do a mezcal tasting, the owner, Alberto from Firme Mezcal, he also has a restaurant in downtown Fullerton called La Revelación. You can go down there. You can have a fantastic meal, do a mezcal tasting. If you stay long enough, they also have a nightclub. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you mention to them that the fools from My Grito Industries sent you their way. You never know. They might take care of you, or they may spit in your food. Either way, check them out. So what I wanted to do now is I wanted to go to introduce our guests. I'm very excited about this guest because not only is he having a very successful career, but also one of his podcasts is now part of the My Grito Podcast Network. So I'm very excited. Let me tell you a little bit about this gentleman. He's an incredible comedian that has been blowing up for some time now. He's been featured on various TV shows and specials from Netflix, but one of my favorites is a stand-up that he did currently, which you can find on HBO. It's called It's Not My Weekend, which, as a matter of fact, it happens to be also the name of one of the podcasts that he does, It's Not My Weekend. That podcast comes out every Tuesday, so you also want to give that a listen. But he's been doing a lot of great things. If you want to find out a little bit more about what he's been doing, what he's been up to, we're going to ask him those questions right now. But like I mentioned earlier, he's now part of the My Grito Podcast Network because season 2 of Tragos Amargos podcast is coming out on April the 8th. We're very excited about that. If you have not had a chance to listen to season 1 yet, you want to check that out. But without further ado, compita Jerry Garcia, ¿cómo estás?
What is up, dog? Thanks for having me, fool. That was a long-winded intro, a lot of very informative.
Estoy cansado.
Very informative, dog. Very PSA-ish.
Well, have a smaller bio, bro. Why do you have to be doing so much?
That was just a lot of information you give out there, dog. Hopefully we all got that. Hope there's a test at the end of this damn episode.
There will be a test.
Hopefully you guys took some notes down. No. Mind buzz, dog? Mind buzz, Gil?
Yeah, the mind buzz.
Sounds like some nerd shit, fool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like it. Like some comic book shit or what?
It's a nerd shit on LSD. Just think about that.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm interested. I'm down with that. All right. What's up, man? Thanks for having me, fool.
No, pues absolutely. I got to tell you, first of all, Jerry, I know you're a full-time comedian, but you also do all these other things. Mm-hmm. When I saw your stand-up a few weeks ago in Covina, I went with a couple friends and my wife. We sat up front, which, by the way, anytime I sit up front, which is very rare, tengo un pinche miedo que algo me va a pasar, that they're going to talk shit about me.
Yeah.
I'm taking a look at, okay, como miro, what's my fit? Am I giving them any ammunition?
It matters now, right? Because that's where it's at right now. Dude, a lot of comics are coming out. There's crowd work going on right now.
Simón.
Estamos de moda de la crowd work. I do a little bit. I sprinkle it in as needed. But I stick to my material. I'm a joke writer, dog. So I like to trust the material. But of course, when you had a little funny hat that day, like a little fucking Frankie J looking wannabe hat.
Why does it have to be little, bro?
I mean, because it's tiny, dog. But yeah, of course, when you see stuff like that in the audience, obviously, and you got to kind of talk about it a little bit, of course, dog.
Fuck, fool. I got a little nervous for you though, because you did stick to the script. It sounded like to your stand-up, but there were some pinche cholos that were right on stage. And when you started poking fun at them, bro, and they were right kind of close to us, close enough to us. I was worried that I'm gonna catch some strays.
That could go bad real quick.
It
dog.
can be, bro.
That could go back to it. It's how you say it, though. I'm all smiling when I talk shit to cholos. Like, you're not gonna give them a little fucking smile. I'm fucking kidding, dog. But it gets a little scary sometimes. But nah. Usually, especially when they sit up front, cholos are down to get fucked with, dog.
No, for sure. Did that particular cholo who looked like he just got out of the pinta not too long ago, Did he ever go up to you in the meet and
I
greet,
think
just say
so.
what's up?
Most of the
y todo
time they
el
do.
pedo?
No me acuerdo. I think you kids our first show on Thursday.
Simon,
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday was like the lightest show, dude, because the rest of the weekend was all sold out. So that was like your show was actually a good little practice trial run
Simon.
for some other materials I was gonna work throughout the weekend and stuff. But yeah, so it was a little bit more conversational type of night, right? But the rest of the weekend got fucking lit, dog. It was packed, sold out. It was dope, man. Love Covina, man. Shout outs.
No, big time. It was a great show, pero ya sabes, compa. I went there Thursday and I went to the first show. Porque no, ya está muy rucón, bro. I get
feel you.
tired real easily.
Me too, dog. Me too,
Shit.
dude. Like, I don't even get why we're doing 10 o'clock shows. Why are we doing that? We should do a 5 o'clock and a 7 o'clock, dog. Like, that's what we should be at right now in this life, bro.
Simón, con senior discounts.
Dude, I get all excited. You know, I do my 7 o'clock show and they're like, oh, you got to do another one. Oh, fuck, that's right. I was ready to go home, dog. Like, no, during the week, by 10:30, I'm out. I'm still durmiendo, way. Like, I'm fine. I got to take the kids to school, dog. It sucks. I still haven't figured out how to weasel my way out of that one. Taking the kids to school. That shit sucks, fool.
No, pues sí, a huevo.
Because one of the reasons I love doing comedy is because you work your own schedule. You're a, entrepreneur, right? Whatever.
Yeah, you said it correctly.
And so I get to run my own schedule. Except with school, dog, I still have to wake up at 6:30 every day. I didn't sign up for that, dog, but it is what it is, fool. Anyways.
No, pero también it's, I would imagine it's a little, I mean, you really have to work some things out con la baby mama y todo el pedo because you also travel a lot.
I travel a lot, so I keep my kids alive during the week. Dog. I got them Sunday through like Wednesday or Thursday, depending on my schedule. But I have them most of the week. Take them to school, pick them up from school, get pizza their lunch, give them a ride to their friend's house, can pick them up from their friend's house. But once the weekend's here, I'm out, dog. See ya, motherfuckers. See ya.
And there goes the name of your HBO special and your podcast.
It's not my weekend, compa. It's not my weekend.
Fuck. No, but you know what? I really related to that. And I don't know if, hopefully this doesn't come across the wrong way, pero so I've been married to my wife. It's going to be 17 years. We've been together for much longer than that. She's a single mom. Y para mí, it was one of those things when we were dating, and I love these girls. I love them even more. I've been helping them, raising them, todo el pedo. Pero as a fucking 20-year-old, when it wasn't her weekend, that happened to be the weekend that I was around. When she did have them every now and then, no, pues tengo que trabajar con mi papá. And
that was you. That was you.
I was with the homies.
That's funny.
Sorry, Adriana.
Yeah,
don't get mad.
Yeah, when you're young, of course, that's you find any excuse to just finesse your way out of shit, dog. Of course, but you were a stepdad, and it sounds like a good one.
I
At 20, you were a stepdad at 20.
Well, I started dating her at 20.
Oh, dating her at 20.
I dating her at 20. I'll share this with you because I said it during my daughter's quinceañera, my actual daughter, my blood daughter. She had her quinceañera last year, and I said it part of the speech, and I put it out there, so it's not a secret anymore. For the longest time, I didn't think I could have kids. And it worried the shit out of me porque for me, the way I grew up, I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have a big family.
Of course.
Because I was
so you took out somebody else's family. Fuck it.
For the most part. Pues estaba muy escándalo en todo el pedo, going out there, doing my little thing here, little thing there. But I never got hit up for, hey, I think I might be pregnant or any of that stuff. And I was being a pendejo. I know I was. But it got me a little concerned. And it wasn't shortly after that I wanted to get checked up on it. And sure enough, they told me it would be very, very difficult.
No shit.
For me to have kids.
Lucky bastard.
So I know.
Go ahead.
No, pues when I first met my now wife and she had these two amazing daughters. No, pues muy fácil. I was thinking, you know what? I don't know if this is a blessing from upstairs. Que here you have an opportunity. They're very young. You can be a part of their life. You're gonna have to deal with the parent stuff. You're gonna have to deal with knowing when not to get involved. When not to step in, making clear that you're not trying to be a
boundaries,
daddy.
Doggy.
It was all boundaries.
Yeah.
But that's what we were dealing with when we were dating. It's me being respectful of the girl's father, which for a while we became really good friends.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's a trip, right?
No, it's a
I
trip,
talk about
bro.
it on my set, on my special on HBO. My special is on my weekend. Talk about the stepdad, the real hero here. You know what I mean? The stepdad around, the pressure's off of me. I'm like a cool uncle now. You know, I get to take the back seat most of the time. But yeah, it does take that, bro. It takes that relationship, that grown up stuff. Yo también, güey. Like I wasn't very close with the stepdad, but my material did come from having to build a relationship with this guy for a while.
Oh, Simon.
Right? A guy who's gonna be in my kid's life, right? At first, you get all like fucking insecure about it, but you got to get out of that shit. What matters are the kids, right? So at the end of the day, if the kids are fine, if they're being taken care of, they're well fed, que lo están cuidando, güey, because I'm not gonna be there. Not every weekend. Someone else is gonna be there. You know, hopefully there's a way where you can figure that shit out as grown people who have the same goal in mind, which is the kids, dog. The material, these jokes that I wrote, were all about keeping the kids' well-being intact, dog, and having fun with that, of course.
I love what you said porque when I watched which I want to talk to you about it, your HBO special, and you were talking about the stepdad, which, by the way, congratulations, is still the most watched Latino comedian.
Last I checked, it was, man. There's been a few that's dropped and shit, but last I checked, it is the most dropped. The pandemic helped a lot, but I think overall it's really good. It's very relatable, dog.
Simon.
It's very relatable. It's not just for Latinos. It was dropped under HBO Latino, which is no longer around. Now it's just Max, right?
Yeah.
But it was dropped under HBO Latino. So that kind of cornered us for a while, but I feel like my special was able to cross over a little bit because I'm not just talking about being a Latino, Mexican. It's just being a parent in general. And I think that's what helped.
That's what I wanted to give you credit for, because even as I sit here, being an owner of My Grito Industries, and we're representing other Latinos in the music industry and podcasting, the one thing that we don't try to do is when we're out there promoting them, we're not promoting them as Latino musicians.
Yeah,
no, they're just
Mexicans
musicians. It's not.
Yeah.
When I trip about is with comedy, and maybe it was early on listening to, let's say for example, George Lopez.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that he would talk about is just growing up Latino, Chicano, and for the most part, it was all relatable to me, and it was funny and all, and I enjoyed it. But when I saw your stand-up on HBO, it hit me pretty hard as a stepdad, or if it was the other way around in your situation where you have your kids and you're dealing with a stepdad, that shit was just fucking funny as fuck.
Exactly, bro.
And it was relatable. So if any of you guys are in that situation and you haven't watched Jerry's stand-up yet, I highly recommend that you do, because you're going to find it extremely entertaining, extremely relatable, but just your take on it. Me pegó duro, bro.
That was the goal, bro. That was the goal, fool. Just again to transcend and just not just about. It's the bigger picture of things, bro. You know, like Gil's a new comedian, bro. Like he understands. Like he gets it. He's talking about he's a Yono Sabo kid. You know, there's a good medium, bro. Like you need to be obviously. I go up on stage just the way I sound and I look. You know I'm Mexican or Latino, bro. I don't need to keep reminding people on stage that I'm Latino or Mexican, dog. Like, just the way I look will tell you this, right? And so what George Lopez did, he did what needed to be done. We needed to be heard, and he was the first person that allowed that for us, dude. He came on stage, on the spotlight was on him. Of course, Gabriel Iglesias and Paul Rodriguez, respetos también.
Simón.
But when George Lopez came out and was talking about the Mexicans do this, Mexicans do that, at that time in the 90s and early 2000s, it needed to be said, fool, because there was no voice that was talking like that. And he was the first one, bro. But now we're 20 years later, fool. So now let's take it to the next level. What else? What are we about, bro?
No, Simon.
You know?
Well, I think when I was in Covina and I saw your stand up, the shit was relatable. It was funny. Again, you're not hitting hard on the Latino, even though every now and then it may come up.
Yeah.
But you were fucking relevant. Mm-hmm. And for me, for somebody that does enjoy comedy, but at the same time, you make us think with some of the things that you're saying, to the point where you do your stand up, and when we go out to dinner afterwards, or we're in the car driving, we're still talking about it. We're talking about a lot of the things that you said, and then it sparks up other conversations. That's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I commend you on your type of stand up and what direction you're going.
Thanks, we'll appreciate it, Don.
Simon. But before the HBO special, in 2017, you came out with a project with Chingo Bling.
Chingo Bling, yes sir.
Tell me about that project. ¿Cómo era?
Shout out to the homie Chingo Bling. First of all, out there in H-Town, Texas. So I didn't know much about Chingo Bling, fool. Like I really didn't know much about him. He came across with my boy Jesus Sepulveda, another funny comedian who was also on the special. He met Chingo first, and they started hanging out. And then before you know it, Chingo's coming out to LA, and Jesus was telling me about Chingo, like, oh, this guy Chingo. I'm like, I don't know who that is, fool. Like, I really don't know who that is. But we got to meet at the Hollywood Improv. We had a show, Latino night show. We did our thing. And after that, we just talked it up, chopped it up. Really cool cat, very business oriented. Love his focus on everything. And at the time, he was like, yo, man, I'm working with Netflix, man. They're going to give me a special, but I'm not ready to do a whole hour myself. So I'm thinking of doing a little bit of a variety show where I showcase other comedians and I host it. And because I can't do a whole hour myself, but I don't want to pass up on this deal. It's a great deal with Netflix, dog. And that just kind of snowballed from there. He looked at other comedians as well. He ended up with myself, Jesus Sepulveda, and one more comedian I can't think of. I'm blanking out right now, bro. Pero John Stringer. Fuck, I couldn't think of it right now. John Stringer, the homie John Stringer, a homie from Texas from him. Anyways, he put this thing together. Next thing you know, we're on Netflix, bro. And it was an amazing experience. That's literally when my career pretty much started taking off from there. Full-time, pues. Touring, making money, residuals, all that stuff, dog. And since then, it's been no looking back, bro.
Hell yeah.
No looking back.
Well, maybe
Thanks
there was
to Chingo.
And big shout out to him, but maybe there was a little bit of a looking back. I wanted to talk to you about, so on one of your podcasts with It's Not My Weekend. So I was also listening to that. Before we reached out to you, I listened to the full first season of Tragos Amargos podcast.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. We're going to talk a lot about it because I have some questions for you.
Yeah.
But then I started listening to It's Not My Weekend because those come out regularly on Tuesdays.
Yeah, weekly.
So it gives me an opportunity to check out what you're up to, what you're doing, talking about different things that are on your mind. Pero me pegaste muy duro, and I'm somewhat of a newer fan to that podcast, so it sounded like you talked about it before.
Yeah.
But you talked about how in 2018, when you came out with your HBO special, te cayó el cheque, and it was probably one of your better paydays.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't until a month later, in July, when you got a DUI when you're out there celebrating.
Yeah.
And that changed your fucking life. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because I think a lot of people not a lot of people, some people can relate to it, but I think this is also kind of a truchas to other people.
Hell yeah, dog. That's dope that you bring that up. Yeah, though the deal was signed in 2018, the special didn't drop until 2019, late 2019, into the COVID year. I was supposed to tour in 2020, my whole fucking special tour. Never happened. That fucked up. But yeah, in 2018, dog, when I signed this deal, they gave me this fat check. And I never made this much money in my life. But even before that, dog, I was doing pretty well already. Even though that was the fattest, most money I've ever made, I was already pretty busy. Feeling myself, dog. I'm 44 years old, dog. So in ese tiempo, I was like in my late 30s, 38. And I've always been a drinker. You know, beer is my thing. Tequila. I don't really do drugs. I don't do weed or any other hard stuff. I've always been afraid of that. But I do drink. And so in esos tiempos, it was June, dog, June 18th, dog. And I just was feeling myself. I got a little too carried away, dog, where I felt untouchable, dude. Like, when I'm bringing up the age because at this point, I'm like 38 years old, 39 almost. Never had a DUI in my life, ever. And I've driven and drunk many times where, like, te pones muy confiado, way. You think you're untouchable, fool. And, dude, I was literally 10 minutes from my house, dog. 10 minutes, fool. I was in East LA. I live in Huntington Park. You got to get through the city of Vernon, which is the city in between East LA and Huntington Park. So I'm driving through Vernon. I don't remember driving, dog. I was doing a bar show, and I don't want to blame the bar. It's not their fault. I had a great time. It was a bar show. I'm practicing my set, getting fucked up, right? Shots, drinks. I'm there till like 3:30 in the morning, fool, because, you know, getting a little VIP treatment. You can stay a little bit longer with the owners and the workers. And no fue culpa de nadie, güey. I blame myself, obviously, completely. But en una de esas, güey, I go outside to go pee. And that shit hits you, right? When you go outside, that shit just hit. I started stumbling. Everything spinning, fool. And next thing you know, I say I can't go back into that bar because I'm fucked up. I need to get home. I got to get home. And my ass gets in the car. And I fell asleep, basically. I passed out driving. Gracias a Dios, I wasn't speeding. I was going maybe 15, 20 miles an hour because I fell asleep. I put my foot was off the gas, and I hit other cars on red light. And gracias a Dios, nobody got hurt. But yeah, of course, I ended up in jail. Vernon PD got me, took me to HPPD jail, which is another blessing. Which right there in my backyard, my house, basically gave me a ride home. But I'm in jail for the next couple of days, and everything's just shattered. It was my weekend. This was a Thursday night show. I was supposed to pick up my kids Friday after school. Obviously, that didn't happen. And then I didn't come out of jail till the Sunday. They let me go. And obviously, my kids are freaking out. My kids are like 8 and 9 at the time. And yeah, bro, it was all bad, fool. It was all bad. And dude, and yeah, basically all the money that I made from HBO was all went to the fucking DUI, fool. DUIs are expensive, dog.
Fuck yeah, they are.
DUIs are expensive, fool. You don't realize how expensive. I had to get a breathalyzer. Fucking my shit was it was a felony DUI because I had a .25, dog, which is 3 times the legal limit, right?
I way.
So it's 0.8. You're supposed to, I got 0.25, one of the highest you can get, fool. And of course I crashed. And somebody was claiming they were hurt, but then they took that back, because I didn't hurt it. It was a fender bender. But at first, it was a felony, bro. Like a felony DUI, up to a year in jail, la chingada, toda la madre, way. So once the felony was there, I had to get a top-notch lawyer, right? And shout out to my lawyer out there, Willow, in Honeycomb Park. So I get Willow Nunez, HP. And then I had to get a lawyer, and it just, everything started expensive, full. Breathalyzer, court fees, the ticket, my car. I had a Kia Optima del año 2018 that I had just got it like 6 months. Gone, totaled, because I fucked myself up more than I fucked other people up. And it's a Kia, it's gonna fall apart with any little shit. And so that was gone. Car was totaled. Dude, everything. My license was gone. No license. It was a mess, fool. Jail fees, court fees, DUI classes are expensive. Those are like twice a week, $35 each one, $70 a week for like 6 months. AA meetings, can't work, can't drive, can't go. Bro, it was the worst experience of my life, fool. But I needed that, dog. I needed that because I came out of there a new person, fool. A new person, more appreciative. I think I became just a better person overall, fool. Andaba muy confiado, muy en las nubes, way up in the. I thought I was untouchable, fool. I really thought I was untouchable, bro. My career was going great. HBO, I just came off Netflix. Now HBO, movies, dude. I was like, hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah, it's on. And I needed that in my life. It really was a blessing in disguise, dog. And for anybody who's listening, like if that shit, I'm telling you, I took that approach where like, everything just crumbled. I lost everything, fool. Like I literally lost. Even my kids didn't want to come over to my house, dog. They were scared. They thought I was an alcoholic. Cause my kids are 8 and 9. They don't know better. Their mom's, freaking out. She's feeding them shit. They think I'm doing drugs. My mom, my dad are disappointed in me. They don't want to talk. My mom was like so mad at me. Like I was like embarrassing to the family. Dude, I'm 30, almost 39 years old. Never had a DUI hasta ahorita, way. That's little kid shit, fool.
Yeah.
DUI shit is little kid shit. 20, 21, 22, 23. Yo, I'm a grown-ass man with kids, dog. Getting a fucking DUI. It's just dumbest shit ever, fool. Dumbest shit ever. But I came out of that in a very positive way. And I really do look back at that, and it was a real good turning point in my career and life, fool.
No, I bet. It was a horrible thing. I think several people out there that have heard of individuals that gotten DUI, and it's absolutely... if you think about it now with Uber, Lyft, and all that shit.
No excuses, fool.
There's no excuses. Yeah. I see your position, and yours was a little bit different porque you are coming off a very successful career. You're hitting some fucking big marks. Y te la pasaste tomando, bro.
Yeah.
You were enjoying yourself. You were having a good time. You're out there celebrating. Yes, you made a mistake, and fortunately, nobody really got hurt.
No. Yeah.
Te cuestó un chingo.
Yeah.
But you learned from it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I mean, you're somebody that we're not going to find you in that position again por esa razón.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. Hell no, bro. There is no excuse, fool. Not with Ubers or anything. Homies, that even my homies were like all mad at me. Jesus was my roommate at the time. Like, pendejo, dude, call me, fool. Like, I could have picked you up, fool. Like, there's no excuses, fool. It's a trip.
Algo bueno que para mí, when I heard this story, when I was listening to It's Not My Weekend podcast, when you were talking about it, lo que estaba pensando es, it shouldn't have happened. I can't tell you how many of us get away with it.
Hell yeah.
Because there's plenty of times that
Yeah.
tomaste unas cuantas and you think you can make it, right? I'm glad that nobody got hurt, but at the same time, que te pasó a ti, it sucks that you lost all that money. It's good that nobody got hurt. But I think because of the platform that you have the opportunity to, you have shared that story a couple of times. Now here you are sharing it again. And hopefully it could give an opportunity to somebody out there to realize not to do that.
Yeah.
Because they can hurt themselves, they can hurt other people, their life can be ruined, they can lose jobs, everything. So no excuses nowadays.
Yeah, I'm not a hip. I'm gonna be all hypocrite and shit, but of course I still drink, I still party. Like now, pero ya está en tu mente eso, and it's engraved in your head. Like, fool, don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Like you in Covina, bro. Like, I'll have a couple of drinks at the show and shit like that. I'll stay there in the green room. I'll drink my water. I'm good. I eat, chill, hang out for a good hour and a half, whatever it takes, until I'm ready to go home. But I don't get fucked up no more, fool. Not like that. Maybe on the road. I get fucked up on the road when I'm not driving, dog. I have to take a cab or a fucking Uber, or they're driving us around and shit.
Yeah. I could see that being
But
different.
locally, no way. Locally, not worth it, fool.
No, pues también para mí, at the end of last year, I had a situation personally that I'm not too proud of, but it wasn't, so it was more to myself. I was at a pinche quinceañera of all things.
Yeah, those will get you. The open bars, homie.
Open bar. Pero it was one of the girls that I coached during softball. I coached my daughter's travel softball team. And I was the only coach that showed up on that quinceañera. We were going through a shitload of quinceañeras because they're all turning
just the season.
age, right? And so I had several of the dads coming up to me. Hey, shot.
Hell yeah.
Shot. And Garcia showing gratitude because I try to be a good mentor to these kids. And I think about moments growing up, the coaches that actually made an impact in my life. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to carry myself the way they carried themselves with me, and hopefully they'll remember me that way. But no mames, I was getting fucking black. I blacked out at a quinceañera. Luckily, my wife pulled me out of there before I created a scene. When I woke up the next morning, I'm like, what did I do? What did I say? Who do I need to apologize to? Todo el pedo. She was mad.
Yeah.
Because it happened again. And I've been lately getting into these blackouts. Sí tomo un chingo, pero the blackouts really freaked me out because it made me feel like extremely vulnerable. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
So in January, I'm not a big believer in New Year's resolutions. I'm like, if you want to change, you change whenever the fuck you want. Yeah. But I did a video on Instagram saying, hey, you know what? Something happened. I did black out. It doesn't happen a lot. Pero ya no quiero tomar un chingo.
Yeah.
So I did a dry January, just a dry January.
Yeah.
And maybe I should have been more clear in the video because when February, cuando me miraron con bebidas, hey, ¿qué pasó, güey? I thought you're not drinking anymore. I never fucking said I wasn't drinking. I said dry January. Pero this weekend was my daughter's wedding, and again, open bar. And out of all places, somewhere to celebrate, I would think it would be there. I didn't get drunk once. I got buzzed, but I didn't get drunk. I didn't want to black out. I want that to be the new me. I'm trying to do my best because I learned from it.
Yeah, fool.
Something needs to happen. And hopefully, if it works out in your favor, whatever happened, sometimes it needs to be extreme, but hopefully it's not too extreme that you can't come back from it because you got hurt or you're in jail or lo que sea. You know? Some things you can't come back from.
Yeah, exactly. If I would have really hurt somebody, fools, that what I keep thinking, that's the worst. Y eso también, güey, like when you make decisions like that, like you did, that's what you're supposed to do. Done, like you gotta give yourself real like goals, fool. Like you can't set yourself for failure, dog. Like I never said like, oh, I'm never gonna drink again. No, I'm gonna like watch how much I drink and do less of it and taper it off. And I used to drink 5, 6 fucking beers at a show. Now it's just 1 or 2 or 3. You know, it's like you got to give yourself realistic goals, fool.
Simon.
And that's what it is. I quit beer in this year only because of the hangovers, the way I was feeling. They were fucking me up. I'm not drinking no beer right now, fool, but I'm drinking tequila. I'm thinking, so now I'm switching up to get gin and tonic, get pinche margaritas, get like pinche Cosmos, other whack gay drinks, bro. But but they're doing the job too, bro. But I'm saying eventually those are gonna be faded out too. Like eventually, or just straight tequila shots, bro. You know, like just for some reason they give me not as bad hangover as beer was. It's just the way I was feeling.
No, pues igual.
Yeah.
Y para mí también, I don't want to feel as bloated with all the beer. I do love beer, but I'm trying to cut that back. And just same thing, tequila. Yeah. Tequila or some firme mezcal. Shout out again to our sponsor.
Mezcal for sure, dog. My dad's a big mezcal fan, dog. But yeah.
Órale.
That shit.
Both, thank you for sharing that. I know it's not easy when you talk about it, but at the same time, it's good for other people to hear.
Yeah,
it.
bro. I didn't share that story for at least 2 years, dog. I barely started sharing that story not too long ago. I was really embarrassed about it, fool. Like,
Simon.
I didn't want to talk about it. I'm denial about it. Then I wrote a joke about it somewhere. I did like a little joke, did a little tagline. I was bringing it up here and there, my jokes about, DUI or whatever the fuck. And then so I just eventually I started kind of talking about it a little bit more and more, fool. But yeah, dude, for a while, I was like, I was too embarrassed, dog. Embarrassed to talk about it.
No, pues thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Pues Jerry, let's go back to podcasting. So you've done several podcasts, starting off with American Wannabes. Who
Yes, sir.
You're no longer doing that.
Yeah, dude, we had a great run, fool. It was 6 years, dude. We did that since 2015, dog. And we kept it going through the pandemic. And then 2021, when we was kind of like, that was enough. It was hard. Shout out to Jesus Opora and Christian Zaragoza and even El Chaton Fernie, who helped us out produce it. Pero we had a great run, dog. Over 300 episodes. Very, very popular, fool. I mean, we still get a lot of people hitting us up about it today. And we've stopped for like almost 2 years now. And people still listening to it, fool. It's still there on iTunes if you want to go back and check it out. It's really funny. It's just that we all just grew our separate ways, bro. And we're all doing a lot of big things on our own and shit. So from there came Tragos Amargos and It's Not My Weekend podcast, fool. So It's Not My Weekend podcast. I have a blast doing this, like a vlog of mine. It's just audio only. You won't find it on YouTube or nothing like that because I wanted to keep the production simple. If not, if it's all this going on, I won't be able to keep up with it, fool. So I want to be realistic and just have an audio for someone to just put on the earphones at work or on the drive. And I think it's really good, man. So it's fun. I talk about my everyday life, about the kids. I rant, I talk shit. I get a little ratio. It's crazy.
No, I really fucking love it. I think you have a real good thing with It's Not My Weekend.
Yeah.
Me gusta un chingo. Again, it comes out every Tuesday. So for you listeners, make sure that after you listen to this podcast, go out there and check that out.
For sure.
Pero luego viene April 8th.
Yes, sir.
Season 2.
We wanted to
Tragos
wait
Amargos.
after Easter because I know a lot of people, don't drink during the Quaresma and shit. So let's give it to April 8th when everybody can get fucked up and listen to Tragos Amargos with us.
Simon.
For sure.
I got to tell you, so I mentioned this quite a bit. Whenever I hear certain music, mostly Mexican music, norteño music, people like Vicente, Ramon Ayala, Juan Gabriel, that shit gets to me.
Hell yeah.
It's very, very emotional for me. I know you said that you don't cry, pero you catch me at a bar with some tequila, I'm fucking, soy un pinche chillón, bro. I'm not happy about it, but
Kind of jealous of that, fool. I've never been a crier, dog. I need to open up go into my inner feelings a little bit. I know there's something in there that I need to let out somewhere, fool, pero yeah, I've never been a crier, dog. I know you got daughters, fool. You automatically have to be a crier, fool. Maybe because I have boys. I have to be.
Oh, pues, yeah. I could see that. Pero con...
I envy people who cry, dog.
Well, it's not always good. It depends. I mean, if my wife's screaming at me and I start crying, no,
in public.
No, in public.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody it's not her fault. It's my fault. Pero the podcast, season 1, me gustó un chingo, bro. I know we talked about the possibility of you guys redoing it again because it was the first time you guys doing it.
Yeah.
You guys are trying something new, just like I'm trying something new with My Grito podcast.
Yeah.
Pero you guys did such a fucking awesome job, not only with the artists that you guys picked for season 1, pero también with your crew. Can you tell us a little bit about the team that you did season 1, season 2 with?
Shout out to the home. This all was a vision of Sammy, our producer, director, editor. He has his own little production company called Wet Carnitas. Shout outs to them. But yeah, this fool, it was his idea. We've been longtime friends. We've been friends for like 10 years. And he obviously is a big listener of American Wannabes. And he's like, one of my favorite things about American Wannabes is when you start talking about breaking down music, Mexican music, because the guys will make fun of you. You start going a cappella. You can't sing for shit, but you have so much fun doing it. And then you break down the songs, and then you talk about why they're so good. And then you translate the songs. You turn them into English. That's really cool too. How you fucking break everything down. And some of these songs are maybe like little low-key rapists and all kinds of shit going on in these songs. And you have so much fun talking about this. I think it'll be a great podcast, man. We should do one. And I ran with it too. I thought it was a great idea. We brought in Fernie El Chaton, who's another good childhood friend of mine, who also knows a lot about music. So he's like our expert in this. And we just ran with it, dog. And season 1 was a lot of fun to do. But logistic-wise, it was very hard to get together. And again, there's all this production going on, editing, music rights, toda la madre, way, and music cues y todo. So it took a lot just to get one episode done. So we did 8, and we went with our favorite fucking artist, my favorite personally. We had to go hard because we didn't know we were going to do season 2.
Simón.
So we went with Tis del Norte, que pinche Selena, que Vicente, que Los Bukis. There was no looking back. We had to go hard, or Juan Gabriel, because we didn't know there was going to be more of these after. So those are literally my favorite artists of all time. And we just had a blast doing it, man. And the reason we're saying we might record it again was because we learned so much from that now we did season 2. I think season 2 is going to be even fucking better, that we want to like make it up to season 1 and maybe do it again. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, let's give the audience a little bit of a kind of a snapshot of what they have season 1 available to them.
Yeah, it's there right now on YouTube.
And if you have not listened to it yet,
it's on my YouTube channel, I think, Comedian Jerry G. YouTube channel.
Comedian Jerry G. Check it out. One of my favorite episodes is when you did Chente.
Yeah.
And let's talk about, I love how you did the interpretation, Acá Entre Nos.
Yes, sir.
Can you share that with us if you remember what you said about the song?
Well, I mean, it was a half joke, but we've all been there. Acá Entre Nos, I love, is a great description of how somebody feels who wants to just let someone know how they're really feeling, but they can't because we're men, right? But here between us, I want to let you know that, or between me and the girl I'm talking to, is like, I want to let you know that I'm going to put on this facade that I look like I'm doing fine, but in reality, I'm not. Acá Entre Nos, I'm not doing very well. And that's how we have all felt. Like sometimes you want to get home and tell your wife, like, yo, man, my girlfriend just left me, dog. You want to break down to somebody, but I think Vicente states it the best in that song where you put it out this whole little image of yourself that I'm fine, I'm strong, I'm a man, I don't give a fuck, bitches ain't shit, attitude. But in reality, dog, you're dying inside for this woman, and you want to let her know que acá entre nos no te he dejado de querer. I still love you. I still think about you. I want to run out and scream it to the world that I miss you. And that's how it be, dog.
Fuck yeah.
Right.
Are you going to cry right now? Is this the first time? Pero es lo que me gusta tanto about the show is the fact that you're breaking down these songs that a lot of us if you love norteños or if you love these artists.
Rancheras
y todo, yeah. You love these songs, but I don't know how many of us really pay attention to what they're actually saying.
Yeah.
Because if you're talking old school songs, they are very machista.
Yeah,
machista. There's a lot of things on there that if you really knew what they were saying, I don't know, would you be as big a fan? It's no different than nowadays. Nowadays, you're still coming across that shit.
Yeah.
People are still getting a little aggressive. There's more cancel culture out there. Back then, not so much because they were saying some shit. But going back to Vicente, what I like is that you said something that my homies and I have said a long time ago, and you brought back a memory, and it sparked up another conversation with me and them when we were drinking some tequila over it. You talked about how Vicente is viewed as the Frank Sinatra of Mexico. Beautiful, beautiful voice. But the fact remains that Vicente didn't write his songs.
Nope.
Just like Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
And you use Juan Gabriel, why he is, at that moment, I don't know if this is the case, considered one of your favorite artists,
he is, bro.
Juan Gabriel.
Yeah. He's like a Elton John, right?
Elton John.
Songwriter and shit. Yeah, no, like nobody did it like Juan Gabriel, bro, lyric-wise, bro, right? Lyric-wise, man, he wrote for everyone. He made everyone's career, pretty much. Marc Antonio Solís, of course, as well.
Simón.
Pero this guy, Juan Gabriel, is still one of my favorites of all time. And I didn't get turned on to Juan Gabriel because, again, being a machista, right? He's not a man, like manly man, right? When you see him or how he talks or how he looks, how he acts, whatever. So when you're young, you're teenagers and 20s, you're like, nah, that's the way, fuck that guy. But then you start to listen to what he's saying on his songs, his lyrics, and you start to appreciate how amazing this fucking beautiful person is, right? And all the music that he wrote and all the beautiful lyrics. Like La Diferencia is one of my favorite songs from him, right? Like he's talking about a girl that, just let me love you. I'm not hurting you by loving you. Just let me be, let me dream about you. Let me cry for you. Let me keep adoring you, even if you feel nothing for me in return. I'm still going to continue to do it because the difference between you and I is that I will always love you even though you don't give a shit about me. Even though you forgot about me or you've moved on, I haven't. Let me just continue feeling this way. I'm not hurting anyone by feeling this way. And like things like that, like again, we've been there. Like I've been in that relationship, that situation where a girl broke my heart. She moved on. She went on to the new guy, and I still stayed hurting, right? And that's the difference between her and I. That she's moved on, she's good, and I'm not. And I'm not hurting anybody by feeling this way though. Let me just feel this way until I'm ready to move on. Like things like that from Juan Gabriel. It was just. And so many other beautiful songs, right? Like, I wasn't born to love. Yo no nací para amar. Yo no nací para querer. Like, I wasn't born to love, man. I was not born for this. You know, I was born to be heartbroken. And just beautiful fucking lyrics, dog, right?
Simón.
But at the time, I just remember a turning point somewhere in my 20s after being heartbroken and cheated on so many times where I started like, actually paying attention to Juan Gabriel. And I go, that's the man right there, fool. There's no greater songwriter for me than Juan Gabriel, dog. And of course, Marco Antonio Solis is my other 1A, 1B.
There you go.
Yeah.
A couple of things that came out of that that I really appreciate, Jerry. First of all, is the way you're describing the song. I think for a lot of us that are listening to the podcast are going to be like, fuck, that's right. That's a badass rola. And they're going to start listening to the music again if they're not currently listening to it.
Yeah.
Because I think what you do is you bring an appreciation to the lyrics of the song and what the meaning is. You also throw in a lot of humor, bro.
Yeah,
you don't
of
get
course.
away from that, which I really like, which is the next thing. Even during the podcast with Juan Gabriel, you guys were openly talking about his sexuality.
Yeah.
And you had audio clips of interviews that he was on and what he would say. And quite honestly, I've experienced it myself because, I mean, maybe it's where I grew up. Maybe it's the decade that we're the generation that we're a part of. For many times you would hear, hey, don't be that. Don't do that. There was a certain amount of being machista.
Yeah.
And even though I like Juan Gabriel, it was one of those things where, good example, I go to Mexico almost every year with my carnales that I grew up with. And we go to this winery called El Cielo. Biggest winery in Mexico from what I understand.
Okay.
And when the year that we went, we were told after we were finishing up our tour that once or 4 times a year, they have a major artist that comes down to the winery and they perform out at the vineyards where there's no electricity, puras velitas. They have lights that are out there. They do have a generator so they can do some lights.
Yeah.
And they just have the artist perform.
Like a cappella and shit?
A cappella. Or yo no sé cómo la hacen, but that's the way the person described it. Maybe I didn't catch everything because I was drinking a lot of wine.
Yeah.
Pero we're like, all right, this could be kind of cool, you know? Who's performing tonight? Juan Gabriel.
Shut the fuck up, fool.
Juan
You were
Gabriel.
there when Juan Gabriel was there?
I was there. And
fuck
we're like,
outta here.
oh, how much did it cost? Reasonable price. We're like, oh, fuck it, we have that cash. So how's it going to be? No, we set you guys up in a little table con una little velita and we bring you a bottle of wine. And of course, that's when the gay
How is
comments.
this not sold out? How did you just get to walk up?
I don't know, bro, but they had it. I don't know if they just made more
Walk-in fucking
space.
service. That's crazy.
So later on, we found out because my buddy's sister did go to it, and she said it was fucking packed. So I don't know if they were gonna put us way in the back. Bad gay joke right there. Pero the comments when they told us that it was Juan Gabriel, the again us drinking into el pedo, we said no, we're not gonna do that. Una velita con entre todos. I'm not gonna watch that. That's gay.
Dog. Yeah.
A few months later is when he passed away.
Nah, shit.
So for anybody that doesn't believe me, El Cielo, when he performed there last and when he passed away wasn't that far apart.
Yeah.
Fucking regrets that I've had.
Of course, fool.
Major regrets because I should have been comfortable enough con my homeboys because we all grew up listening to Juan Gabriel. Most of the time it was La Jefitas that were listening to it, but we love his music. It was good music.
My mom loves Juan Gabriel. Yeah.
And ask me now, and I have my record collection. I have fucking 4 or 5 records of his porque me gusta un chingo because of his lyrics.
Bro. Bangers, dog.
It hits.
Yeah. Well, I regret not seeing him in the last concert here in LA. Staples Center was when he passed away, fool. My co-host, Fernie Chalton, he got to see him. He went to his last concert before he passed away. And I regret because I wanted to go to that concert, but you know, I'd be like, oh, go to the next one, dog. Next time.
Simón.
No, wait. También I was supposed to go to Arrowhead Pond to see him, but I sent my mom instead with her when my aunt was visiting from Mexico. She just happened to be here around the same time. I was going to go with my mom and my sisters, Pero I give my ticket up to my aunt. And I was like, fuck, I regret doing this too.
No,
but
pues
I
sí.
never got to see him live, dog. I'm trying to tell you, dog. So that sucks. Yeah,
No,
I love Juan Gabriel.
But on the same note, because here's an opportunity for a lot of, for a lot of our listeners. Ramon Ayala.
Yes.
You named the podcast after one of
Yeah.
his songs. He's doing his farewell tour this year.
Yeah, you should have been farewell in a long time
For a long time ago. Está
Pobrecito,
sentado
güey.
el compita.
Sí,
He
güey.
doesn't look so healthy. Pero here's the thing. One of my closest friends, Alejandro, he watched Ramon Ayala for the first time about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
He's never seen him before.
Okay.
It was a fucking dream for him. Ahí estaba todo pedo, llorando, todo el pedo. I think the people around him were complaining because they wanted to hear Ramon Ayala.
Oh, he was going all out hard.
Yeah, he was going pretty hard. Even though Ramon Ayala's not singing.
Yeah.
Pero you know the situation
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Pero he was going hard.
Yeah.
And he had an opportunity to check that box. And I think if any of the listeners like norteño music,
Mm-hmm.
understand Ramon Ayala's not in the best of health.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make this an excuse. Oh, fuck, I should have seen it.
Yeah.
Should have seen him should have performed.
I just
down
saw
there.
Ramon Ayala at the Ontario Arena. He opened up for Los Tigres, way. So yeah, he was over
ahí
Los
está.
Tigres. Ramon does like 30 minutes, and whoever's singing for Los Bravos is doing a great job. Sounds
hell
just
yeah.
like him. And you know, Ramon comes in a little bit in the background, right? But he's like on a stool,
Simón.
and he's like sitting up, sitting down, and yeah, it's just for him to be here is amazing. But whoever's singing the lead right now is doing a great job. The songs just sound
They're still
great.
bangers, bro.
Yeah,
They're still
bangers,
good.
fool. But he does like 30 minutes, and those Tigres come out, who is my personal favorite band of all time. Unpopular opinion for a lot of people, but for me, those Tigres are everything to me, dog. I grew up with those Tigres. I fell in love with those Tigres. I'm a hardcore fan. But I've always said in the podcast that lately,
No, así es. Así es.
Their new albums have not been.
They're not killers like
Yeah.
before. Los Tigres ya están un poquitos viejitos, ¿no?
Yeah.
At least with the bangers.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Ramon Ayala was Banda Machos.
Oh, yeah.
Great fucking show. Me gustó un chingo.
I've always wanted to see Banda Machos, dog. When did you see them? Because they got like a new singer también, no?
They got a new singer. They may have a whole new fucking band.
Yeah,
It's
of
like
course.
20-something of
But
them.
what matters is the singer. is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Simon.
Yeah.
It still sounded real good.
Okay, good.
But they definitely have a new singer because the singer split.
I love Banda Machos, dog.
Yeah.
I love their music. It was always happy music for me. I still bang it. They're going to be in season 2. Banda Machos. Banda Maguey, who sound very similar to Banda Machos. People confuse them all the time, but they are two separate bands. I love Banda Machos, dog. I knew
Absolutely.
every one of their songs, dog. So, yeah. I want to see them. I
They're
just
good to
worry that it's going to be a clusterfuck when I go and that the singer's not going to sound like nothing like them. And it's just like, why am I even here, dog?
Pues ojalá que no.
Yeah.
And I know you said Tigres del Norte too. I think I said it on a podcast before. And I also said it when El Compita Steve Garcia from Emo Brown asked me the question, hey, top 3 songs. What are your fucking bangers? I told him number 2, Tigres del Norte.
Yeah.
And he's all, why? Pues la neta, growing up, when I worked at the swap meet, my dad has a 77 GMC pickup truck. And he raised me in that truck in the sense of lectures, torpedo, everything. He would be telling me mentorship was
Yeah.
happening in that truck porque we were driving pretty far to these pinche swap meets. So we would spend a lot of time in the truck and he would talk to me, but always playing on a fucking tape deck was Tigres del Norte.
They're badass, dog.
And quite honestly, one of the stories that I wanted to share, just because I wanted to get out there, and I know it got cut off during the Art Meza interview. After the pandemic, when I finally was able to get together with my jefe, he asked me, "Hey, so do you still want to get that '54 Chevy pickup truck?"
I was going to ask you should be owning that shit.
Le dije, la verdad, jefe, I don't want a 54. I want your 77 GMC, porque that's your troca, and that would mean more to me to own your truck
Yeah.
and to carry the tradition. I don't know if any of my daughters would love it, pero para mí, the lectures that you gave me, pinche Tigres del Norte, I might fucking airbrush a big old fucking tigre on the hood. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pero one of my tattoos, I have a big ass fucking tigre in the back.
Oh, shit.
For Tigres del Norte, which is really for my jefe on just having my back.
That's badass, dog.
So I'm a big fan of Tigres del Norte, bro.
Yeah.
You did a killer job with it. All of season 1 was fucking badass. It was entertaining. It was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
You were just hitting all these bangers, but now we have season 2.
Yes.
Season 2, what do we have to look forward to?
We got Bronco, dog. We did Luis Miguel. I think we did Chalino Sanchez.
Ay, ay, ay.
Bronco.
Bronco.
And shit, dog. I was doing like 8 episodes, fool. I can't think of the others right now, fool. Fuck.
Pues ahí vamos a salir con Bronco.
Yep.
That's coming out.
Banda Macho's on it
And
too.
Banda Machos.
Yeah.
So they're going to be coming out. First episode's going to be announced on April 8th.
Yes.
It's going to come out on April 8th. We're going to be doing a lot of marketing to talk about it. So you want to make sure that you check it out. It would do you a favor for you guys that are listening. Check out season 1.
Yeah.
They're not terribly long episodes.
About an hour tops.
You got an hour, but it's all fucking funny. You're hearing the music in the background. So the music was able to make the cut. The sound effects from Sammy.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's fucking killer when it comes to those
He's a
sound
great
effects.
editor, dog. He's really good at what he does. That's his thing. That's his thing.
Pero la cosa que season 2, you got a whole new batch of incredible musicians. You learn from season 1. I can't wait to hear this one and enjoy it with my friends and reconnect with a lot of these songs.
Oh, yeah.
And my playlist is going to grow from it.
For sure, doggy.
No,
For sure.
Simon. So I want to thank you for being on the podcast. I had mentioned to you before, Jerry, que I like to ask these questions to a lot of the guests that come on the show, and I want to take this opportunity to ask you these questions because one of them really relates to what we're talking about, music, no? So the first thing that I wanted to ask you is, pick one of these three. Between your favorite movie, your favorite book, or an app that you have on your phone, what's something that you'd like to share with us?
Fuck, man. Right now, the apps obviously keep me busy, man. I'm on IG all the freaking time, dog. The internet never misses, right? So fun. Love it. TikTok, all that shit. Hopefully it doesn't go away. Obviously, that's my go-to. I do a little bit of price picks, too. I'm a little bit of a gambler, dog, but poquito de todo, way. As far as books, people give me books all the time, and I don't get around to them all the time, man. There's a lot of books out there that I really want to get myself into. People like send me or tell me to fucking read. But as far as movies, I'm a big movie buff, dog. That's how I spend quality time with my kids watching movies. One of my favorite movies of all time, fool. Not that I've seen it in a while. I need to go back and see it again. Is Mi Familia, way. My family. Mi Familia is actually a very, that one touches a lot on the shit that we've gone through with my family, dog. Right? How it's expanding. We all got that one guy who goes to college, the one guy that's fucking in and out of jail, the family member. It has a lot of that. It reminds me of a lot of my family. The cast is great. Edward James almost at his best, right? Still doing his thing back then. Even J-Lo does a little fucking cameo up front, fool. Like Jimmy Smits, my boy fucking from La Bamba, Isao Morales, Dog, I think Mi Familia is a very underrated movie. You gotta watch it at least once in your life. It's a movie that I like to watch like every 5 years. I don't like to overdo it.
Simon.
Because when I do it, I really enjoy watching it. And it's just from beginning to end, dog, just how the family grows, how the parents go from young parents, how they got here, how they walked to the United States, quote unquote, all the way to, their passing days. And I think it's just a beautiful thing based in Boa Heights, not too far from where I'm from, Huntington Park. And it just touches a lot of things that I think a lot of families do go through, right? They keep adding rooms to their house and so forth and so on. It's all a beautiful thing, bro. And a big family. I come from a pretty medium big family, so I get a lot of that shit, dog.
It was extremely relatable, especially for us. If our parents are immigrants that came here to the U.S. for a better opportunity, and we're first generation, a lot of that movie is built really on the things that they go through.
Yeah.
So awesome pick.
Very well
I love
done,
that movie.
Hell yeah.
Ahora porque tragos amargos, las rolas. Let me ask you the second question. I don't know if you already have one. I know El Compa Steve from Emo Brown does. We talked about it. If you were to have a death playlist, when I talk death playlist, I'm talking about when you are no longer here and your people are at your services and they're playing music. I've unfortunately been to several funerals, bro, and I've heard fucking elevator music being played, and I'm thinking, El Compita that's in the casket, God rest his soul, rest in peace, todo el pedo. This is not his music.
Yeah.
And this is what they're playing. Many years ago, I decided to create my own death playlist, and it's fucking packed. A lot of good jams. But the big decision was always what was my number one song on that death playlist, which happens to be a Ramon Ayala song. But I wanted to ask you, if you had a death playlist, what would be the number one banger that you would say, you know what, this song fucking represents me
It would probably be, Ramon Ayala is probably there, dog. It's probably Puño de Tierra. Puño de Tierra is probably gonna be the one for me. But Tigres del Norte, like, I really love their music a lot. Fool.
Simón.
Buena Suerte is probably like my favorite song, but it's not really like one for like a vigil, right? Mi Buena Suerte. But that's definitely a song that I've always banged with, always, fool. And a lot of other Tigres del Norte songs. Ni Parientes Somos, a lot of the pinche románticas from los Tigres,
Simón.
right? But my playlist would definitely be all of that. You know, all that genre, everything we just talked about. I have it. I just showed you earlier when we were talking. Like, my playlist is like, it's almost on shuffle, and whatever, it could go from Tupac, Hit 'Em Up, right, to pinche a Juan Gabriel, right, pinche canción, way. So it's all of that. Chalino Sanchez, everything I grew up with, and everything that reminds people who I was is definitely would be. And I do want that. I really do want that playing when I do pass away. I want that kind of music playing at my vigil, at my wake, or whatever it is. I want that, dog, for sure. That's important to me, dude, to be honest with you.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Perfect that playlist. Make sure people know where to get it. I did it on YouTube. That way it's easy access para que la esposa or any of my daughters can get to it. My first song is Entiérrame Cantando
Yeah, that's a good one.
with Ramon Ayala. And the reason, there's a lot of reasons behind it. It's still connected to my jefe, who's still here with us, thank God. But it does talk a lot about celebrating me, and I want people laughing. I want people singing. I don't want people crying.
Yeah.
So that's where that one song that you talked about that might not be appropriate for a funeral service. Maybe it is if it's your fucking song.
Yeah.
It's helping people understand what kind of shit you were into, what kind of person you are by the picks of your music, no?
Yeah, so the song from Juan Gabriel también, right? That's the Amor Eterno, dog. We're talking about Amor Eterno.
yeah.
That's probably the song for me as well, fool. It's a beautiful fucking song.
No, I will. So let me ask you the last question here, Jerry. Again, because I'm in the insurance industry, and I do talk to a lot of my clients.
Plug, no plug.
Plug, no plug. Aquí estamos. I commonly ask the question, in order for me to get a good understanding of what's most important to them and what their biggest fears are, I ask the question, when you are no longer here, how do you wish people would remember you? Because many times, if we don't think about that question, first of all, it gives you a reality check of, are you living up to that expectation? How you want to be remembered? Are you doing the things that you're saying that you want to be remembered as? And if you're not, but you'd like to be remembered that way, maybe you should fucking do something about it, no?
That's right.
So I do that with my clients, but I also wanted to make that part of the podcast that we have here. So te lo voy a preguntar otra vez. When you are no longer here, how do you wish people would remember Jerry Garcia as?
Well, I mean, shit, dog. I mean, I think however from your accomplishments, of course, right? And for me, it's how your kids see you and your family sees you. I feel like they represent what you embedded in them, dog. So, right. So my kids are like, they're gonna carry on my legacy. So they're gonna be able to show like, well, I was raised by my father, kind of like the way you talk about your dad, how he raised you. That's how I want my kids to talk about me, dog. And that's I bond with my kids a lot, and I think a lot of that I want people to basically say I'm a great father, first of all, fool, because I was a horrible husband, I've been a bad boyfriend, but I want people to say I'm a great father, and first and foremost, and a great son too, dog. Right? My parents mean everything to me, fool. Like still today, también I still have them. They're hanging in there. I still have them, but and so I always want to be a great son and a great father, and I guess, right? I think I've been pretty good at that. But of course, I've also accomplished a dream that I never thought I could accomplish, which is doing stand-up comedy full time as a career. Man, I never phantom of doing this shit in my 20s, dog. Like I didn't start comedy till I was 29. So now when I pass away one day and people say, "Oh, that fool was one of my favorite comedians. That fool was funny, one of the best, one of the legends, great writer, great whatever." Of course, I want that stuff to be talked about me when I pass away. And so now what I have to do about that now is I work hard for that to happen, right? For when that day comes. So I don't take anything for granted, compa. I really don't. Like I'm a real person. I'm a true guy. I still pick up my kids from school. I drop them off every day. I still got to visit my mom every day. I still talk to my dad. I have to call him, check in with my sisters. dude, with the homies, dog. I still do all that shit. Even though I have my faults also. I fuck around, I drink, I get crazy, I do things. But overall, I'm still a very grounded, general, real person, dog. Everywhere I go, I can never say there's anything fake about me, dog. Like who I am on stage is who I am off stage. Everywhere I go, who I am. And obviously on stage, I'm working, I'm performing. So there is a little bit more of that. But I am who I am. And what you're going to get on stage, you're going to get off stage and everywhere else. At home, everywhere else.
Simon.
You know,
I appreciate everything that you said. That was very heartwarming, and I would see it as true. The way you're living your life, the decisions you're making, your career, it's. I commend you on that. Gil, before I do my final comments, are there any questions or anything that you wanted to ask Jerry?
Yeah.
I know you guys tried really hard to make me cry, fool, but it didn't happen, dog.
I know, dude. Did you have to do the hospital and morgue program when you did your?
Yeah, I
when you
did, bro.
Yeah, isn't that fucking
shit.
crazy?
That was
dude?
the best experience ever.
That's crazy.
In
right?
fact, I forgot about that. Gil, great question, fool. The morgue visit
Dude.
almost made the DUI worth it, fool.
No,
I'm telling you, compa.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to go to the morgue,
Yeah.
which you can't. You can't visit a morgue unless you go as a DUI or you're gonna be a doctor.
or if you're dead, right?
Or you're dead. Fuck, dog. That was like the best experience ever in the weirdest, strangest way.
No, I agree with
That shit scared the shit. That scared you straight, bro. Like you go in there, you see a video. Well, you got a DUI too?
Yeah, dude.
All right, okay. So you go in there, you see a
I'm
video.
right there with you. We're DOI brothers now.
I'm telling you, dog. You go in there, you see a video of most horrific car crashes ever, right? Fucking decapitations, fucking right, kids.
We're talking faces of death type of shit.
Faces of dead shit.
Wild.
Kids fucking dead on the road.
Wow.
Crazy, right? You're like, what the fuck, right? Then you go downstairs into the morgue. They walk you downstairs. The first place they put you in is the actual place where fresh bodies are being brought in, right? These bodies just died 20 minutes ago or whatever the fuck. Literally, they were alive an hour ago. These people, right?
Yeah.
Fool, I'll tell you a crazy story. So that night, before I went to the morgue, because you got to be there early in the morning, like 7:30 in the morning, fool. You can't be late. So that night, esa noche, I was a little excited, about going. I was like nervous about going. Fool, there's a helicopter, bro, above my house, above my block, right? In HP. Pinche ghetto bird. All night, fool. Okay, I knew if somebody got shot, something happened, right? Sure enough, fool. I get to the morgue the next day. Fool, where they take us to the place where they're bringing in bodies, fool. They're bringing a 14-year-old body, kid, cholo,
Oh, man.
Wow.
2 gunshot wounds on his body, he's completely naked. You can see his dick, which everything, bro. I'm telling you. 14-year-old kid, cholito, dead. They're reading there's a fucking clipboard. They're reading the shit. He goes, this kid got killed at 11:30 at night and at Huntington Park. This and that. This is a fucking kid on the fucking helicopter that was above my shit. I'm watching him in front of me right here. Dead corpse, fool.
Damn.
Chiquito way. Kid, bro. I was like, get the fuck out of here, fool. Then another dude comes in. Motorcycle accident. Head caved in. Gordo as fat guy, big guy, like 300 pounds. Literally on the 60 freeway early this morning. He got ran over by a semi. I got hit by a semi. Fucking brain guts came out. Fool, you could see the hole in his head, bro.
Whoa.
The fucking hole in his head, dog.
And that was probably with a helmet?
With a
It
helmet.
didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Fuck.
Dead, fool. Yeah, his thing was like caved in, fool. Fool, like right in front of you, dog. Then a lady comes in, fool. Oh, some pinche. Every fucking 10 minutes, they have like, we're in the LA County, que tienen como like 100 and something bodies coming in every day. You divide 100 and something bodies by 24 hours, we're talking about like fucking every 15 minutes, a body's coming in. And those are the ones that die like that. The ones that die like by natural causes don't come into the morgue. If you die by natural causes, there's because the morgue, they have to investigate what happened. How did you die officially? But if you died by natural cause, by old age, cancer, some shit like that, no te llevan allí, güey. So then they bring you into the actual morgue. Now there's a morgue. It's a big ass warehouse.
Yeah.
There's fucking aisles and aisles of bodies.
You see a morgue on TV, it's totally different from
It's a big ass freezer.
Yeah, on TV there's a like refrigerator compartment. It's not. It's
They're on
huge refrigerator with dead bodies.
Yeah.
Dude.
So you walk in and you walk in aisles full like in Costco. Look like a fucking Costco, bro.
Yeah.
Of dead bodies. And then there's aisles, and then they're like, all these people here died of this, all these people died of that. These are women, these are kids. They bring you down the fucking kids aisle, bro. You walk down the kids aisle of fucking little feet fucking sticking out like no mames way. Fool, people couldn't take it, fool. Like people, it was like a group of like 20 of us. Senoras, ladies, women, fucking people barfing, fool. Dog, I wear glasses. Our glasses fog up. I'm kind of glad they were fogging up, bro, because the fogging of my glasses were preventing me from seeing everything.
When I left, my jacket still smelled like the
it smells like dead body, fool. Like allá adentro huele a corpse, fool. And it sticks with you, huh?
Yeah.
You have to you're smelling it. You have to put your windows down on your car, fool. Is that bad? Is that strong?
It was
fool.
crazy.
And then you can see when they're doing the autopsies.
Yep.
You go to the autopsy, they go, fool, they're fucking drilling people's skulls and taking their brains out, bro.
Some dude's head was like his skull. You can see his skull and the top of his head was just
horrible.
like.
Yeah. And you're seeing it. They force you to watch this, bro. Motherfucker, I left there like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
but
it was crazy.
I'm glad I did. I'm glad I saw that for this wakes you up.
Yeah.
This scares you straight, compa. And they said, no one's allowed to come in here unless you're here by DUI court or you're like a doctor.
And the 20 people that you were with, most likely all DUIs?
All DUIs.
And it was like men, women, everything?
Yep.
There's a chick that was like refusing to see and they would force her.
Really?
Bitch, if you don't fucking come in here and watch this shit, you have to come back and do it, pay and do it again. There's no out of it. This crazy. There's no out of it. They're forcing you, dog. The lady was crying like, no, por favor, ya no. Bitch, you better keep walking.
So since all of you guys were there for DUIs, did you by any chance hit up any of the girls since you know they're down to party anyways?
Down to fuck around, dog? Fool, yes. Trust me, dog. There were some hotties in there, dog. I'll be like, bitch, I'll change you.
No, pues muchas gracias, compa. Thank you for being on the show. I greatly appreciate it. Again, like I mentioned to all of you, because I do have an insurance business, I always wanted to give some type of financial advice towards the end of the episode. My advice is this, and this is based on me listening to Jerry's stories. And of course, we were just talking about the DUI. And here's the thing. Yes, there's things that you can do to prevent situations like that. But this is what you call a financial emergency. Something came up that put Jerry in a position where about 80% of the money that he earned from this HBO special, gone. What we need to do, if you're not doing it already, is what I call pay yourself first. By paying yourself first, what that means is anytime that you get your paycheck, one of the first things that you want to do is to put some money aside. What that amount of money is really depends on you. Put some money aside, compas. It could be $20. Put $20 aside into a different account and let that accumulate over time as an emergency fund. Are there things out there in investment vehicles, insurance vehicles that you can put that money into instead? Absolutely. I talk to my clients about leveraging life insurance, what I call index universal life, where not only does it provide a death benefit, it also has living benefits in case you were to become ill. But you can also build cash value within the policy. If something comes up, you can take money from the policy tax-free. So there are life insurance policies out there. Also, of course, there's 401ks. You put your money in a 401k. But I'm talking about an emergency fund at home. Put money aside. If something comes up, you want to have access to that money. Commonly, you hear 6 months salary. Put 6 months salary in case something happens. And no, it doesn't mean, oh, fuck, tengo que ir al pinche club or something. Let me pull out $200-300 out of the emergency fund. Have some discipline. Keep that money aside. Keep putting money into it because you never know when you need access to this money and you don't want it to affect other accounts. So with that, again, Jerry, muchas gracias for being a part of the My Grito podcast. Extremely excited about April 8th, for Tragos Amargos podcast part 2, season 2. Gil, thank you for doing this with me again, my brother. I really appreciate. Make sure that you do hit him up, Mindbuzz Media, if you want to do your own podcast. And again, this is Oscar and this is My Grito. Gracias.